Hello, this is Toad from Talk Wrestling, and welcome to a new series I'm starting because all we do on this channel is predictions at the minute with me. We're all usually. And the channel's Talk Wrestling, we don't really talk about wrestling much, so I'm starting a new series, maybe a weekly series, maybe a bit less than that, maybe every 2 weeks, I don't know, I'll decide, but it's pretty much just a podcast series. So I'm just going to do it usually may probably be me on my own most of the time. Maybe Squirrel will join me a couple of times. Maybe I can get a couple of other people on for a couple of episodes. But this is episode 1 of the Talk Wrestling podcast, and we are just going to be discussing everything that's happened in the last probably couple of weeks in the WWE. And as you can see on the screen, we've got the biggest news of the past week, probably. Yeah, I'd say it is. The United Kingdom Championship tournament. And you look at this 2 ways. It is a great move in terms of getting UK guys more exposure, more popularity, and it'll be in that sense it'll be great for the UK indie scene. But lots of people are worried, and that William Regal in his interview did clarify that WWE, if they're going to be planning on making the a weekly show from the UK on the WWE network after the tournament that's on the 14th and 15th of January. I think it might be the 15th and 16th. It's definitely around the 15th. So there'll be over 2 nights tournament. There's some big names, such as Joseph Connors, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, Tyler Bay, all big names on the UK indie scene, all at the minute in places like Progress, ICW, WCPW, What Culture, so some big names, and there's also a lot of smaller names. One of them, I think, is named Sam. I really should have found that out. But I did see in a show a couple of nights ago. I went to a small wrestling show. I saw him a few nights ago, and he looked really good. Good technical wrestler. So we are hoping for a lot. I'm not sure how good the Cruiserweight Classic. The standard of wrestling on the Cruiserweight Classic was incredible. That was a certain type of wrestling. So all the cruiserweights had similar styles, so that it makes some great matches. I'm not sure how this tournament's gonna go, only because they're all gonna have different styles. I honestly don't think there's gonna be as many great matches, but I think some of the matches are gonna be incredible. So I'm looking forward to watching the United Kingdom Championship tournament, and I think it's going to be aired so that people in the UK can watch it normal time, not have to stay up like usually they do for Raw, SmackDown, NXT pay-per-views, all that. So that'll be good, and that also means that people in America can still watch it, because it'll be on the afternoon for them. It'll just be on at night time for people in the UK. So I really like the belt. I think it's a really good belt, but they did say that if they do need stars for the weekly show, when they start making it, WWE do get the first choice of dates that the wrestlers choose that I have to go to, but they have to tell them in a long while in advance. So pretty much wrestlers are allowed to wrestle wherever they want. They're allowed to do other indie dates. It's just WWE get first choice, pretty much. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think lots of other people are. It's great for the UK, and as soon as they announced it, I was like, oh no, another championship. I was like, it's going to be on Raw and SmackDown. It's just going to be like what happened to the Cruiserweight belt at the minute, which is really not doing well on Raw, and then 205 Live, which isn't really doing well, let's be honest. But I was really glad to hear that it's going to be from the UK, the tournament, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just gonna quickly find out the name for the guy I saw because I'm really annoyed. Because I did see him at a little show the other night. He put on a pretty good match, and his name is I'm just finding it. It definitely was Sam something, and I will find that out. But I think the design's really good. How they've put like the pound coin on, just in different colours of WWE logo, and considering that the independent scene in the UK is a lot better than it has been for a while, and I didn't know this, but it's not the best it's ever been because William Regal pointed out on an interview that I recently watched that a few years ago, I think, there was 20 shows from one promotion in a month in London, and that is incredible, and really we need to be getting back to that. But this will help, and I'm sure people in America, it's going to give people in the UK, these stars, a lot more exposure, and it should help their careers, so they can be full-time wrestlers, all of them, a couple of them are. So the guy I saw's name is Sam Gradwell. I think that was him. He's a really good wrestler, and I couldn't believe, because I went to this small show and I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be a few local wrestlers. It should be a good show. It wasn't that much to get in, and there was all the WWE UK stars a night after it was announced, and I was pretty excited about it. And the winners match. So yeah. So now I'm just going to move on to talking about Roadblock, which is airing tonight on WWE Network on pay-per-view. Roadblock End of the Line. Sorry, I shouldn't have called it Roadblock. They've all been calling it Roadblock End of the Line. It's a bit stupid name, isn't it? Why did they even call it Roadblock in the first year? We had a Roadblock in March. What's the point of having another? I don't know. I mean, I should have just saved it for next year, to be honest. But I suppose they did have to choose a name. Why didn't they just put something else in? I don't even know. Like, would Elimination Chamber be good now? I don't know. Could have been quite good. In fact, no, because it's a SmackDown pay-per-view, isn't it? It's in February anyway. So, yeah. So, Roadblock is tonight. And for you wondering, me and Squirrel will be doing our Roadblock predictions later on after this video comes out, before the show starts, and we're actually going to stay up and watch it. We don't do much, but tonight we are hoping it's a good show, considering I'm staying up to watch it. I'm not sure it will be. I'm not too optimistic about it, but one thing I can say about it is a very unpredictable match card, and that is always a good thing, I'd say. TLC was very predictable, but they still managed to pull off a pretty good show. It was quite entertaining. I did watch it. But this is probably, I'm not sure, but I think this might be the most unpredictable pay-per-view of the year. Of course, it's a B pay-per-view. Not too many people are going to be watching it. But it is very unpredictable. We'll start off with the main event. I think it's the main event anyway, considering the Universal title hasn't been main event since Clash of Champions, I believe, back in September, because it didn't main event at Hell in a Cell. Sasha Banks and Charlotte did in the Cell, and a Survivor Series, of course, with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. There wasn't even a Universal Championship match on, I don't think. No, there wasn't. So yeah, so Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, and I'm not going to say who I think's going to win. I'm going to save that for the prediction video. I'm just going to say the circumstances if they win. I think if Kevin Owens wins, I want Kevin Owens to win. I think it's his title run. When he first won that title, everyone was so excited because Kevin Owens is one. I know Triple H did help him, but of course he pretty much gave it to him, didn't he? But everyone was so excited. Kevin Owens had been after that he had that great feud with John Cena. Then after that, all the great Sami Zayn matches. That was a great feud. You just think. Kevin Owens is going to be great champion, really entertaining stuff. But although the Chris Jericho thing has been funny, I'm not sure that should be around the Universal Championship, because the Universal Championship came in and everyone hated the belt, the design of the belt. It was up to WWE to make people think that the belt's important. Okay, they can hate the belt, but you need to make it prestigious. You need to make people think Universal Championship, that is a very important belt. Yeah, it's like the most that and the WWE Championship. Yeah, I think that's world. I don't know, World Championship. Yeah, WWE World Championship are two biggest belts in the company. You need to make them important, and both shows are probably bit like I'm going to talk about SmackDown a bit later on, but both shows probably been victim to this. They're both with the whole Kevin Owens Chris Jericho thing, and of course SmackDown with the James Ellsworth thing. Both belts don't feel as important as they should, and people have complained in the past when people like John Cena, Randy Orton, people like that have had these the biggest belts in the company, but they've made it feel important. They haven't made it feel like a bit of a joke. And I don't know what other people think, but in my view, what they've done to this Universal Championship, with the whole Chris Jericho thing and the list, they've made it not as important, because the whole attention was on Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho when it's meant to be on Kevin Owens as the Universal Champion. And okay, interference to win matches, it works, but they shouldn't have it over and over and over again. Chris Jericho saving him, the whole story where Kevin Owens doesn't save Chris Jericho, it's just a little bit underused, the Universal Championship. And I think Kevin Owens needs to win. They need to make this championship prestigious, and they need to have Kevin Owens in a big feud, proper feud, serious feud, going into the Royal Rumble when he can lose it there, because I don't think he's going to be champion going into WrestleMania. I honestly don't. But there's always that hope. Of course, it's not going to happen. I'm going to say that right now. There's always a hope that Roman Reigns turns heel to win it, and that doesn't mean Kevin Owens has to turn face, but maybe Roman Reigns wins it tonight. But the problem they've done is they've proper downgraded the United States Championship, because everyone's talking about this big Universal Championship, that match. United States Championship is the second biggest. It's the second biggest. Well, there's only two single titles, isn't there now? But the United States Championship, it's considering now they're on each show, rightly so. There's tag, there is women's belt. There's the big. There's the big belt, Universal and World, and then there's Intercontinental and United States. And on SmackDown, the Intercontinental Championship matches have been so good. Dolph Ziggler and The Miz putting on great storylines with the whole Daniel Bryan thing. It's been great. The Miz has been doing the best work of his career. But on Raw, the United States Championship, Roman Reigns versus Rusev was an alright feud. But after that, they've just forgot about it. Roman Reigns was in the 5-man tag, 10-man tag match, Raw v SmackDown, and now So that's 2 pay-per-views in a row where the United States Championship hasn't been defended, and I don't think that's a good idea, because now this match is for the Universal Championship, but one of the competitors in it is the United States Champion, and I honestly think if because of this he should have dropped it to Chris Jericho on Raw, had a match, lost it, and then you'd have Rollins against Jericho for the United States Championship. Jericho retains by cheating in some way, and then drops it to someone, I don't know, someone like, who's on Raw? Someone like Rusev, because Rusev just was an entertaining champion. Someone like that. And I'm just a bit... It's just kind of annoying that the United States Championship is just a backup to make Roman Reigns seem more prestigious. Oh, he's going to be a double champion. And I don't want this to happen. And if it's going to happen to make Roman Reigns seem dominant, you have to turn him heel. If he wins it tonight, he has to turn heel. Because if he doesn't, face Roman Reigns with the United States Championship, which isn't even being defended, and the Universal Championship as a face again, only after 6 months after dropping the big belt on Money in the Bank, after all that, after being suspended, after that negative reaction, kind of getting himself back to that level again, and then just winning both as a face, it's just really not going to go down well. So you need to turn him heel if that happens, and then have him drop the United States belt at some point. But I want Kevin Owens to win. So, and I'm going to make my predictions later, because I'm actually not sure in the video later, because this is a match I'm honestly not sure of yet who I think's going to win. But yeah, it is a bit of a mess. So next we've got Sasha Banks against Charlotte in the 30-minute Iron Man, they're calling it Iron Man match, for the Raw Women's Championship. And Charlotte, I think it is because they're booking them so even. In a way, it makes sense to have them keep changing the belt, but I think they've done it one too many times now, because having that thing where Charlotte always wins on pay-per-views, I don't know, but and Sasha always wins on Raw. It's getting a bit too unbelievable. Not like in a great way. Like it's literally it's hard to believe that would happen. And I'm sure the match will be great tonight. They always put on good matches, and they are getting 30 minutes, of course. But I honestly don't know. But if Charlotte, of course, if Charlotte, whoever wins, there's no rematch clause. They have stated that this is their last match. Of course, it won't be. They'll have a match further down the line, but last match for a while, I'm guessing, and I'm hoping, because although the matches have been great, this is getting boring now. So the thing that I think should have, I think it would make sense if Sasha retained, but I think it would also make sense if Charlotte won, and I think Charlotte should have just not dropped the belt to Sasha, and then I think this match shouldn't be on, to be honest. But I don't know though, because it is an Iron Man match, and that has helped. If it's an Iron Man match, I can see why they've done it. So I think Charlotte shouldn't have dropped the belt to Sasha, even though that Ric Flair thing did make sense coming out at the end. But Charlotte did lose in her hometown. It's all just not really making sense. But Charlotte, I think it'd make sense if Charlotte won as well, though, because Charlotte v Bayley is the big money match at WrestleMania 33. That's what everyone thinks is going to happen. I think that'd be a great match. Bayley winning it on her debut on WrestleMania after having to wait so long after seeing all the other 3 of the 4 horsewomen competing at WrestleMania. I think make sense, and it'd be a very nice thing to see Bayley winning it at WrestleMania. So, and if Sasha wins, I think it might be Bayley Sasha. I think Sasha will turn heel if Sasha wins. But then where does that leave Charlotte? That's the thing. So, yep, stop discussing that and move on to the tag team match. And I'm not going to say who I think's going to win, but everyone's saying if the New Day win, then it is obvious they've done it. Like they have. I think the New Day have deserved it. They have stayed relevant. But I think part of the reason is to break with the lawsuit is to break Demolition's record. And I think if they win, it just makes it so obvious. But I think they might. I'm not going to make my final prediction. But I do want them. I do want them to retain the belts, just for WWE's sake, to be honest. So it doesn't just seem pathetic. But Cesaro and Sheamus have been great. The club haven't been so great. I mean, they're getting better finally, but it's not the club on it. It's a 2v2 match, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that was on Raw. So yeah, forget I said anything about the club. Cesaro and Sheamus have been great, and I think they really should win them at the Rumble. Once the New Day have kept them for one more month, and then drop them, probably. But yeah, that is going to be it's going to be interesting to see what they do. To be honest, that's all I'm going to say there. Then we have the the very intriguing 10-minute time limit match with Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman. What do you do here? That's the question, because Mick Foley's gonna get involved, isn't he? How he gets involved, I'm not sure. Could call it off, maybe. I don't know what's gonna happen. To be honest, I think it's just Sami Zayn. He has been wasted a bit. Well, he has been completely wasted, and you can't argue that he wouldn't have been better on He would have been better on SmackDown. Like, there's no doubt about it. He should have gone to SmackDown, separate him and Kevin Owens, have them not see each other for ages, and then they finally come back and have that big match where Sami Zayn maybe wins a championship off Kevin Owens. But it's a hard one, because Sami Zayn has been getting better since this, like, on and off feud with Braun Strowman. But I think that Braun Strowman, they do need to keep him strong, but will they? That's the question. I don't know, to be honest. I think Sami Zayn has to go to SmackDown soon. Maybe they do the brand split when they do the brand, not the brand split, the draft. Maybe Sami Zayn will go, but I think he really ought to be going quicker than that. So next we also have, what other matches do we have? We have Big Cass versus Rusev. This is on pre-show, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I think Enzo will get involved, but Rusev's the type of guy. Enzo gets involved, Rusev still wins. So that'd be quite entertaining, to be honest. But I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'll make my prediction in the next video. I'm going to move on from that. This is on the pre-show. We also have a cruiserweight triple threat match. Swan, the champion Rich Swan, against TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick. I'm not going to talk about this one for too much either, because the cruiserweights have just been irrelevant since the Battle Royal, haven't they? It's just been a bit, but it's not their fault. They've been badly booked. It's just come out a bit boring for me. I think Kendrick could win. I think the most obvious choice is Swan. I'm not sure, but I think if Swan wins, then that belt is gonna get some recognition a bit more. 205 Live, mate. I think Rich Swann is a very entertaining character. You just need to develop his character more. TJ Perkins, he's just not over, is he? With the crowd, ever since he won it, everyone was like, okay, what will they do? And it's just been not very good for me. And then we also have that match, Chris Jericho against Seth Rollins. And the build hasn't actually been too good. Like, they've had lots of matches, Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins. Rollins has pretty much won all of them. And then he pedigreed Jericho on the car. But then they haven't been pointing out that this match is happening too much. The build's been a bit not exciting. It's all the focus has been around Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Rollins is and then Reigns, and then Rollins has kind of been the fourth person. I think Rollins needs the win. I'm not sure he's going to get it. So yeah, that was Roadblock. I've pretty much talked about most of Raw there. Except I want to mention Bayley, because I think Bayley needs to start getting wins, moving on from this like small feud with Alicia Fox. Alicia's good, she's a good wrestler, but she hasn't been booked well either. So Bayley needs to get onto this main event scene quickly. Who else do I need to mention? The Club, I mentioned them earlier. They've just been irrelevant recently. I think that the Club really need to be getting back onto just destroying people. Like we saw that tease at what was it? Tribute to the Troops. That tease with the Shield. That'd be all. I'm sure everyone wants to see that, but obviously with them on different brands. I think that would really get Gallows and Anderson up a level though, if that happened. I'll quickly mention some parts of SmackDown. Like Raw, I think James Ellsworth, he does need, as much as people love him, I think maybe he can stay around on the undercard, middle card, but he needs to get out of that main event scene, because that belt, just like the Universal Championship, becoming more and more of a joke. I feel like it's less around AJ Styles and the belt. It's more around James Ellsworth and AJ Styles, and Dean Ambrose, of course, has been in there, but it's just getting a bit boring. At the start, it was good, and that we also have the SmackDown women's division, which is doing all right. Alexa Bliss champion. I think Becky is gonna win that back some point. Maybe the Royal Rumble. She's definitely going to get a rematch after we saw on SmackDown. It's going to happen. Miz has been great. Ziggler's been great. Ziggler. Oh yeah, forgot to mention Ziggler is now #1 contender. So I'm guessing that's going to be the Royal Rumble. So my question is, where does that leave Dean Ambrose? Does it lead to a feud with the Wyatt family? After we saw that, after we saw Luke Harper in the match? Or does Luke Harper leave the Wyatt family? Because they've been teasing that. Bray Wyatt prefers Randy Orton. Like they've been teasing this. It's not like a statement. Like Bray Wyatt prefers Randy Orton. And Luke Harper doesn't trust Randy Orton as a Wyatt family member. So I don't know where that's going to go. Everyone thinks it's going to be American Alpha next for the Wyatt family. That'd be good. I don't. And honestly, I don't know where that leaves Dean Ambrose. Maybe the Intercontinental Championship, but I don't know. There's a couple of guys like Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, who need to be stepping up a level. Because Baron Corbin, I know he's a bit boring. He has got that. He has got something about him, which you do feel he can become main event level. Apollo Crews has been really underused. I feel like at the start he got that Intercontinental Championship match. Since then he's been doing these backstage segments with that what was he called? I can't even remember what it was called. He appeared on Tribute to the Troops as well. That guy, you know what I mean. Then there's the what else is going on SmackDown at the minute? We have that weird Nikki Bella, Carmella, Natalia thing. It's just the worst storyline in WWE, isn't it? Maybe the Cruiserweights, but yeah. What else? NXT's doing alright. Shinsuke, they did that Shinsuke Nakamura winning the championship in Japan. Showed it on NXT a couple of weeks ago. I think that was a good booking decision. And Samoa Joe needs to go a SmackDown as soon as possible. Maybe the Royal Rumble, maybe he gets eliminated by someone from SmackDown after a feud on SmackDown, something like that. They sign him. Yeah. Anything else I need to mention? I honestly don't think there is. So yeah, enjoy WWE Roadblock tonight if you're going to be watching it. Check out our short prediction video that'll be coming out in a couple of hours. And yeah, thank you for watching this, and see you later.